Yo guys, what is up, and welcome back to another live stream here on YouTube. Let me know in the stream if you can hear me loud and clear. Audio should be good. Audio should be good. Test, 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 test. Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear, guys. Welcome back to another stream here on the channel. And a very, very good afternoon. Fantastic. It works. What is up, guys? It has been a while. At least it feels like it's been a while because we haven't been speaking to each other since I've been back here in Amsterdam. As you can see, guys, the view is absolutely stunning. Well, the weather is terrible as always. When I was not here, suddenly the sun was shining every single day here in Amsterdam, and now I'm back and suddenly it's cloudy every single day again. So I have a feeling like I should be heading out back to Brazil. To be honest, I miss the weather, not gonna lie. The weather here in Amsterdam is absolutely terrible. I don't know if anybody has checked the weather forecast for Amsterdam or the Netherlands in general, but it is absolutely freezing. It is, I think, like 0 degrees. It is so cold. I miss Brazil so much. The temperature there was so much better. It was like literally every single day 30 degrees out there, and now we're back here in Amsterdam and I'm literally freezing to death. But it is what it is. We're back at least, and I'm back behind my desk because there is no place I would rather be than back behind my desk. So thank you again as always for tuning in to another session here on the channel. Before we dive in, do not forget to leave a like here on the channel, guys. Do not forget to leave a like here on the channel or on this video. Also make sure to subscribe because we're heading up all the way to 100,000 subscribers, so we're gonna hit it very, very soon, I hope. So let's just wait and see what the markets are going to be doing today, and where the markets are going to be heading next. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make my face here a little bit smaller, so you should now be able to see the screen a little bit better, and then we're just going to dive in like we always do, because the markets are not looking as interesting as I would have hoped, in the sense that the market is consolidating. We've seen a push up again on Euro USD. Euro USD is currently stuck within a range. Obviously, you guys know it. We draw in the range trading tool, and what do we see? 75% is acting as resistance, 25% is acting as support. So there are a few news announcements this week which are going to influence the dollar extremely heavily. Today we have, what day is it today? Tuesday. So today we have at 4 p.m. Dutch time. So now it's 2:37 Dutch time. We have Powell, who's going to be testifying. So he's going to be doing some talking, which is going to move the markets. But then obviously tomorrow we have core PPI. We have PPI and we have unemployment claims, or excuse me, tomorrow we have CPI. So we have inflation coming out, guys. So we have CPI, which is consumer inflation, and then we have PPI, which is more business inflation related. Unemployment claims, these happen every week, if I'm not mistaken. And then again on Friday we have more on retail sales and core retail sales as well. So a lot of news coming out, and that is currently what the market is waiting for. It's waiting for the market to come out. So let's see, or for the news to come out. So let's see if we can get some movements on these dollar pairs then finally, because that's ultimately what we're all waiting for. Again, I can do the analysis every single day and say I'm heading up or we're heading down, but we need volume to come into the market to eventually just move the market. For now, Euro USD is consolidating quite a bit. We can very clearly see that the 75% level, again, I love drawing in the range trading tool here, is that the 75% mark is acting as an area of resistance, and the 25% mark, which I discussed this morning, is now acting as an area of support. So waiting for the market overall just to move. Still favoring a move up on Euro USD. I know a lot of you probably don't agree with me, which is perfectly fine, and I'm going to explain why, because I can be very wrong, and I am wrong very often, guys. Please do not get mistaken. I could be completely wrong, but I do like one thing, and that is the dollar index, guys. The dollar index, and you have to think with me here on this one, the dollar index is looking good for further downside. So hear me out, okay? So here on the dollar index, on the weekly time frame, first of all, what do we have? We have a weekly area of imbalance, okay? So this here is your imbalance. This is the buy up for a very strong sell in towards the downside. And if we draw in those 50% body candles, we can very clearly see that this is the area of supply that took out this previous area of demand, okay? So this supply zone broke this area of demand. Therefore, this is a strong area of supply. This is also pretty much where we saw the V-shaped reversal originate from, back in towards the lows. And now we can see, okay, once we came back up in towards that weekly area of supply, what do we see? We see a push up, right, in towards the highs, and then a push down, breaking weekly fractal structure. We see a retracement back in towards the highs, exactly into the monthly and the yearly open, and now from there we've seen the market stall. Also here on the daily time frame, this here is your fractal low. So again, from a structural perspective, we see a push up, push down, push up, all the way in towards the highs. This here is like a liquidation candle, and then boom, strong push down, reversal. And now again, from that monthly and yearly open, what I'm now looking for is that potential further downside continuation. Draw in your fib here, right, the premium versus discount. Then again, we can pretty much see that exactly the 0.5 fib here is being rejected. So looking for that further downside here from the dollar index to see it push down. So what do you guys think, guys? Let me know here in the chat. Sure, I can remove the music a little bit lower. Let me know in the chat, guys, what you think about the dollar index. This is my opinion. Euro USD itself looks to me a little bit less clear. This is what I personally see from the dollar index. What are your thoughts, guys? Let me know, because I could be completely wrong. But I want us to be analyzing this together. I want all of us to understand what we're looking for and for us to come into agreement, because at the end of the day, we're trading here together, right? We're just bouncing off ideas. That's what I'm doing. I'm never going to be 100% of the times right. So let's just see what you guys think of this as well, and what your opinion is on that. Because that's what I'm looking for on the dollar. I'm still looking for that for the downside, but yeah, the news this week is going to decide whether I am right or wrong. What I'm looking at the moment is for the 4 hour to shift. We can see today that the 4 hour is moving a little bit slow and ascending. Again, what do we need to see happening? We need to break this 4 hour fractal low, guys. This black line is key for the downside. Once that breaks, then I'll have more conviction that we're going to be able to break down lower. We also need to kind of like break the weekly open here. I think if we can break that weekly open, then it will become a lot easier. So let's wait for that black line to break, and then I think yeah, Euro USD longs or GP USD longs yeah, will really start making a lot more sense to see that start pushing. Okay, so let's see what else everybody is looking at, guys. By the way, we didn't even discuss where's everybody tuning in from today. Let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from. Hope everybody's doing well. I saw a few of you posted at the beginning that you were tuning in from, I think, South Africa, California, Mexico, Kenya as well, I saw. But let me know the rest, guys, where you're all from, and then we're going to be analyzing the markets as well. Will you perform live trading? Obviously, if I do see a setup, I will be trading it live for you, but we need to see the setup yeah, start to form. Last week, there were quite a few setups that played out, actually, that we discussed here on the live stream, being, for example, 80 USD, one of them, right? Remember the long that we took last week from around here. I think this was last Tuesday, indeed, where we got into a buy position from here. That buy position is still running here if you took it from there. However, we can see that this week the market is just consolidating, so there's just not a lot to say, right? We're waiting for a breakout, and the breakout is going to be massive. But in what direction it is going to be, that is the next the next guess, right? Because at the moment we can see that the 4 hour demand is still in control here on AUD USD. At this moment in time, this is your sell for the buy up. This is still your fractal low that is in control, and as long as that fractal low is respected, we should still head up higher. This overall is demand that is in control, right? So I'm just keeping an eye on that demand zone. If this low were to break here, then I would be a little bit more hesitant on looking for further upside, and we could, in my opinion, see some more downside. But that's kind of like the immediate bias that I have there for Aussie dollar. Let's see. So we see Texas, Malaysia, Nepal, California, Indonesia, Tanzania, South Africa, Arizona. A lot of Americans, guys, today. Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really means a lot. Guys, before we also head out further into the stream, make sure to leave a like and also to join the Discord server. You guys know how to join the Discord. I'm going to drop a link here in the chat for you so you can all join. Discord.gg/the Trading Academy should work. Let me know if it doesn't, then I'll make sure that it is fixed. So, guys, a lot going on in the markets. Let's have a quick dive in for the rest, because obviously these dollar pairs are consolidating at the moment. Let's have a quick look here at NZD USD. NZD USD, the overall bearish order flow for now is kind of like a little bit in control. I'm still looking at further upside from NU, but we need to break this high over here, right? So we need to break that weekly open, because now we're just trading in between the monthly open and the weekly open. We need to break that weekly open high, then get that trend shift in towards the upside. So let's wait and see if we get that. That would be great. But guys, please don't spam the chat, otherwise you're just going to be kicked from here. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for on NZD USD. For the rest, what else? Let's have a look. I know I mentioned Euro GBP, I think, as well this morning. Just to zoom out on NZD USD so you guys have an idea of what I'm trying to do here. Because it may seem a little bit vague if we just look at the 4 hour only. But again, what we have here on the daily time frame, guys, is overall a liquidity low down over here. We liquidate that low and then boom, we see a V-shaped reversal in towards the highs, causing a daily change of character here. This demand zone is then in control, and here we have the monthly open and the yearly open as well, acting as a key level of support. You can very clearly see that that monthly or that yearly level, excuse me, that lower level on the yearly, that is definitely acting as a key level of support here, pushing the market up higher. So I'm definitely looking for us now, after liquidating the low over here, to push up higher and liquidate this high. Here we have equal highs, so that for me is the next target on NZD USD, very similar to what I'm looking for on AUD USD. AUD USD also looking for that further upside still, but yeah, we can see overall that we're just consolidating. But overall, NZD USD and AUD USD are looking very similar. Here we liquidate the low, here the liquidity high is open, so looking for that one more push up higher. And to be honest, it makes sense in my opinion for AUD USD to push up higher, maybe also NZD, because there was some news and I talked about it as well. I think it was this morning. The message or the news announcement has been removed here, but if I'm not mistaken, Australia is exempt here. So Australia is now exempt from the tax, or Trump agreed to consider an exemption for Australia on steel tariffs, and this obviously caused the Australian dollar to remain a little bit stronger. So that's where that came from. For the rest, anything else interesting? Trump says Hamas should free all hostages by midday Saturday. Well, I mentioned this morning as well. Or he's going to let all hell break out. Obviously, this is also causing some stress on gold. So let's have a quick look at what gold is doing, because obviously that news announcement is going to cause gold to push up further. So let's see real quick what gold has been doing since this morning. Let's dive into the 4 hour time frame real quick. So we can see this morning that we had a liquidation event here, which is actually pretty nice for potential longs. I always like when this kind of happens. As I mentioned this morning in the daily market outlook, if you're not familiar with the videos that I do, guys, I record a daily market outlook every single morning, discussing where the potential pairs could head next. But what we had here this morning was potential longs from either here or here. So we can see that the lower area of demand is now starting to play out. So this is the thing when you kind of have gold trending this hard, what you'll very often see is that you have these liquidation events like this. So again, if you go into towards the lower time frame, what you had here was like a key level of support and resistance again, right? So a lot of people trying to go long here on the 1 hour, and then with their stop loss like safely underneath the low here. And then what you see happening is that the market then liquidates those lows, taps into an unfilled area of demand, and then, for example, continues pushing up higher again. Another good example of this could be, let's say, over here, where again you had as well here like a key level of support and resistance. Then again here you have like this bullish candlestick on that support level to potentially go long. You place your stop loss safely underneath the lows. It liquidates the lows. It kind of pushes in towards this overall sell before the buy here, and that range then pushes the market up higher. And pretty much the exact same things happening over here. So definitely also looking at potential further upside from gold still. So I would also be interested in looking for further longs on gold. So now let's just wait for a change in the structure. Overall, it's leaving a lot of liquidity behind above all of these descending highs. Personally now waiting for pretty much this, for like the daily open to be reclaimed, us to form like a nice area of demand from where we can then look for longs again. So looking for that on gold, not interested in shorts myself. Let's see what else. What do you think, bro? I'm watching gold on the 50-minute after breaking the fractal high. Yeah, that's looking good. So potential for longs still. What else, guys? Do you study the COT data? Show the position being built there in heavy short positions, non-retail on AUD USD. No, I do not look at COT data. I look at other forms of data. Let's have a look at GPAUD. So I see a question about GAUD. Let's have a look. So GPAUD is in a nice area of demand, guys. Remember what we discussed in, I think it was the previous live stream, where we were discussing the impulsive versus the corrective phase. So here we have impulsive phase, here we have corrective phase, here we have impulsive phase, here we had the corrective phase, and now again we're inside the impulsive phase. So we've actually seen quite the pullback for the impulsive phase. So yeah, I'm definitely interested in looking for that further potential upside. Zooming out here real quick on the daily. What's nice about GPAUD is obviously overall it's bullish, right? So here we had a break of structure in towards the upside. Then what happened overall is that we saw a retracement into where? Well, in towards an area of demand here, okay? So we retraced in towards this area of demand right over here. So after retracing in towards that area of demand, we saw a pushback in towards the highs. Now what has happened is that we've seen a very deep retracement back into where? Back in towards an area of demand. So why is this an area of demand? Well, the very simple basics of supply and demand, guys. A demand zone can be formed by a drop, a base, and then a rally, and then you form an area of demand, or by what? A rally, and then a base, and then again a rally. So in these two examples, we have example number 1, we have example number 2. These are two forms of areas of demand. So indeed here we have a dump, we have a base, and then we have a rally, and now obviously we formed, like in number 1, an area of demand from where we're looking for those potential longs. So definitely interested in a potential long on GPAUD. Keep an eye on that. Let's see what the lower time frame does. Currently on the daily, the only negative thing here is that we kind of have this daily imbalance here that is currently in control, which we're going to tap into in a second. The highest probability play here from GPAUD would happen once we break this high, in my opinion. That is also when you have like daily alignment, and then I would be looking at that long over there. Let's say you already want to get into a long position, then you do indeed already have the 4-hour change of character. So you come all the way back down pretty much into a refined 1-hour area of demand. Here then on the 4-hour time frame, you have a low break here, you have a high break here, you form an area of demand, and then from there you should push up higher. So let's have a look. Euro GBP should then be pushing down. So yeah, Euro GBP is pushing down. Who checked the daily market update this morning, guys? You should have seen that I expected Euro GBP to push down lower, which in turn is also, I expect GU. Is GU pushing? Yeah, GU is also pushing up higher. Good. So GU is pushing up higher, which is in line obviously with Euro GBP pushing down lower. Personally, I am bearish on Euro GBP. Main reason being is that if we zoom out real quick, you can see the same line is still drawn on here on the chart. And we go into the weekly time frame, we can very clearly see the weekly swing overall is still bearish, right? We see that the overall momentum is in towards the downside on Euro GBP. This here is a swing high, this here is a swing low. And then if you look at the daily, it's a little bit more clear. Let's go back up again. Then you can very clearly see we have descending highs. So we have a high, we have a lower high, lower high, lower high, lower highs. So a lot of descending highs. Then what happens? Boom, you see one impulsive phase in towards the upside. This is why I don't trade trend lines personally. Like you have a lot of trend line traders trending this or trading this, excuse me. Then boom, in one impulse up, all the trend line liquidity gets broken. Here it comes in towards the highs, and then from there you just look to down sell it further again. So nice sell off in towards the lows. Then what happened here is that we saw a retracement in towards this 4-hour imbalance. Here again, you have the monthly open, guys. The monthly open is always a key level of support and resistance. The market comes back up in towards that monthly open. Guys, if you spam the chat, I am just going to really mute you. So please do not spam the chat. Appreciate it, Mitchell. So we come back up in towards that area of supply, and then from that supply zone we push down lower again. So definitely looking still for further downside here from your GBP, which should in turn push those GBP pairs up higher. So yeah, I think GPAUD is looking nice for some potential further longs. Do keep in mind it is fighting in between this area of supply and then this area of demand that we formed over here. So this already is, yes, it is a valid trade to take, I would say, over here on GPAUD, but do keep in mind that it is still risky with the daily time frame still being bearish fractal wise. So preferably what you would want to see is at least a break of that high, then the retracement in towards that weekly open, and then that upside continuation back up in towards the yearly open. So that's preferably what I'll be looking for on GPAUD. Then let's have a look at UJ, because UJ should be pushing up higher today as well. Who was in the live stream on Thursday, guys? Because then you should remember this setup on UJ that I've been discussing. Was anybody there on the stream on Thursday, guys? Because then you should remember the setup. Because overall the setup is pretty nice. Let me know in the chat if you were. Remember, we've seen a beautiful fib retracement back down into where? Into discount. So we saw a retracement all the way back down below the 0.5 fib, guys. Below the 0.5 fib. Here we have the 0.5 fib, market pushes below it, and then it comes back down into what? Into an area of daily demand. So here we don't really have a clean sell before a strong buy up, in my opinion. So what I then do is I use this indicator called the 50% body candle indicator. So here we have 50% body candles, and here we have 50% body candles. So there are two areas of demand where I potentially saw UJ pushing up higher from. So we retrace in towards that first one. Then again, what we always want to simply do is drop down into the lower time frame and understand, okay, is the market then ready to potentially start pushing up higher again? Well, yes, it is. Why? Well, because look, here we have an overextended move in towards the downside. So let's say this here is your break of structure. Then your overall order flow, your overall area of supply is going to be this over here. So you at least want to see it push back up in towards there. So we're after the break of structure. So if you remember what market structure looks like, it's a push down, a retracement, a push down, a retracement, and then another push down. So what you ultimately expect in a trend is that the market will at least retrace back into its order flow. And its order flow is just simply the buy before the sell. That's at least where you expect the market to retrace into. So this here, this orange zone, is just very simply said this over here. So I'm still looking at least for a retracement or a push up in towards that orange zone on UJ. So then if I drop down again into the 4 hour here, and we zoom in real quick, then what we're looking at here is, okay, here we liquidate the low. So a liquidation of the low, boom, V-shaped reversal in towards the highs. Here we have the 4 hour change of character. Here we then form an area of 4 hour demand. Then we go into the 1 hour time frame. And on the 1 hour time frame, we had here a liquidity low over here. And we had, again, like equal lows overall in general, and then we push back down in towards that demand zone and in towards this liquidity low. We liquidate the low, boom, V-shaped reversal, retracement again, another liquidation of this low, and then from there again a push up higher. So some very nice price action on UJ. Yeah, I think it makes sense to look for further upside still on UJ, though we have to keep in mind that the dollar itself is not very strong in my opinion. We also have this 4 hour supply zone in control, but overall I am looking for some potential further upside on UJ. And especially on USD Swiss, guys, I'm also looking for some further downside. I like what we have here on the daily time frame on USD Swiss, but definitely more on the 4 hours. So here on the 4 hour time frame, we had a clear impulse in towards the downside after breaking kind of like all of these ascending lows. We were traced back up in towards this area of supply, but again, remember we came in with an uptrend and we never saw a break of this black line. So there was no fractal break in towards the downside, confirming that there were potential shorts in play. So what happened is that the market on US Swiss just pushed up higher, which is perfectly good because again, we can see that the lower time frame trend is just pushing the market up higher. You can very clearly see here that we had order flow just simply doing its thing. So here we have the sell before the buy, which was in control. Then again, we just push up higher. Now this sell before the buy is in control over here, pushing the market up higher. So if you are looking for a short, there are two potential shorts to be taken. One, the aggressive short, where you just simply look, okay, we've taken out this internal liquidity high. Again, guys, if you watch the streams more often, you will understand, okay, this is an impulse down. Here we have a little bump in the road, and above these bumps in the road, that is where liquidity lies. So here and here, that is where liquidity lies. That is also the reason at the time when we came above this liquidity high here, that straight away you see a bearish reaction. So now, again, we've come above what? Above a liquidity high. So again, I'm expecting somewhat of a reaction from here. Now, the strongest possible reaction is obviously seeing this, and then entering into a short position. That is the highest probability play. If you want to play it a little bit more aggressive, you could also already get into a short over here. And then obviously you're just going to be looking to place your stop loss a little bit safer above those highs, and then just swinging it all the way back down in towards those lows. And then also looking here from the perspective that this is a range, and you draw in the range trading tool and you make the lines a little bit thicker, you'll clearly see, okay, we're trading pretty much at that 75% level, which has been resistance over here. And now again, we expect it to be resistance. And then you see, okay, 25% level, that is where support lies. So we're just trading in between a range. Here, there was pretty much no trading zone without those extra confirmation. And now the fact that the market has pulled back up higher in towards that 75% level, now there is potential for USD Swiss to drop down lower into towards the downside. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for on USD Swiss. Let's see what else we are looking at today, guys. We are on a roll. It is around half an hour in. How is everybody doing, by the way? In the meantime, we still keeping up good. Let me know if there are any burning questions on the top of your mind that need to be answered right now. Because then we'll dive into that. Make sure to tag me, and then it's easier for me if you tag me to check out what pair you want me to have a look at, and then we can look at it. In the meantime, I'm just going to do a quick check-in on EUR/USD. EUR/USD still a little bit stuck. 1 hour still very indecisive. Probably it's going to start moving at 4 o'clock Dutch time, which is in around an hour. So keep that in mind. Aussie dollar still consolidating. NZD USD still consolidating, and GBP USD is still pushing up higher with Euro GBP falling. So Euro GBP is pretty much the dollar index for Euro dollar, or Euro GBP is like the dollar index for GBP USD. The DXY is like heavily correlated with Euro USD, and Euro GBP is heavily correlated with GBP USD. So a good lesson for you guys learned over here. So let's see if GU is going to break that order flow. What we need here for it to break is pretty much that orange box. If that orange box breaks, then I'll be looking at some more upside back up in towards that yearly level for you there. In the meantime, still looking at further upside on Euro USD. If this black line breaks, that for me is going to be the confirmation, and then we'll have a strong area of demand here from where I'll then be looking at for more long positions to do what? Well, to take out the trendline liquidity, which is pretty much hanging on this over here. So I know a lot of people went short here on the third trendline touch, which was pretty good because here you had like a break of structure, like a market structure shift, retracement back up in towards this supply zone, and then a third trendline touch pushing the market down lower. So let's see if we can get another push up from Euro USD, but it is still a little bit uncertain. Obviously, the order flow here on the 4-hour time frame is still bearish, so it still makes sense to push down lower, but at the moment it is consolidating. So let's see if that black line breaks out, then looking for longs. If it fails to do so and we finally start to break these lows, then I'll think we'll head down a little bit lower, maybe even taking out these equal lows over here. Okay, so let's have a look at all of the tags that I've received. A lot of tags I see, So we have Aussie Yen. Let's have a look at Aussie Yen for you guys. So Aussie Yen here on the chart. Let me know what you are looking for, because I don't understand really what you guys are looking for, to be honest. It doesn't really make sense if you just say Aussie Yen. Like, what are you looking for? Are you looking for longs? Are you looking for shorts? I need help from you guys, man. I need help from you guys. Ward is asking, can you explain the TTA inner circle benefits? Yeah, we do a weekly live session where we do back testing, discuss all the potential setups. I also share my trades that I take myself, and there is a full course included as well explaining this strategy far more in depth from A to Z. Pretty much every single question that you have is answered inside there. The checkout link is pinned here in the chat, guys, so make sure to join the inner circle. We're going to be doing a live session tomorrow, so make sure if you want to be there, it's going to be me just live back testing. So yeah, make sure to join. Link in the chat here. It is the WOP checkout link, so you can join through there. So we're going to dive in here, guys. We're going to dive in and see what is interesting about the market itself here. So Aussie Yen, let me know what you guys are looking for on it. Sorry guys, 1 second. Okay, I am back, sorry. So what are we looking for on Aussie Yen? Let me see what the chat is saying. Okay, there's so many messages. In the meantime, guys, don't forget to leave a like here on the stream. Guys, you need to tag me and you need to say I'm looking for this and I'm looking for that. Preferably also level. Okay, so Aussie Yen short from 95,651. So 95,651. Let's just remove all of the lines here for you real quick. Let's dive into the daily first of all. So overall, the daily fractal structure is bearish. That is correct. Overall, this is kind of like the imbalance currently that is in control. So this is like your final buy before the sell down, which caused here a fractal break in towards the lows. Go into the 4-hour time frame, and here on the 4-hour time frame, it is very choppy. Yes, we do have here 3 equal highs, which are liquidity, and then we have a fresh area of supply over here positioned. So we could look for potential short from that supply zone, or we could look for a short from this supply zone over here. So yeah, let's have a look. Let's see how the market reacts. Let me just turn the lights on. Let's see how the market reacts to this area of supply. What we need happening here is a push down. We need to break these lows, and then I'll look to get into a short back down in towards this low. I would not personally limit this just because of the consolidative nature. I would definitely wait for something more like this to happen on Aussie Yen overall. Gold longs, we already discussed that, my friend. Let's see what else, guys. What else? Any other questions? Euro USD waiting for long from the 1-hour FEG. Yeah, looks good. USD JPY shorts. Let's have a look. So USD JPY Personally, I'm not favoring a lot of shorts here on these JPY pairs. You can kind of see that they're all moving a little bit in the same way. And when I talk about the same way, I'm talking about them being descending correctively. You can see that the market is squeezing in towards the downside. So here you had momentum, push, minor pullback, strong push, minor pullback, strong push, minor pullback, or actually a bigger pullback, and then again a push. But as soon as we break the low here, boom, retraces straight back up. So bearish momentum is not as intense, guys. It's not as intense as it was before. And you can see this as well on, I think it's GJ here, that it's starting to slow down a bit. Obviously also here, if you look at the daily time frame, we kind of grab liquidity underneath this previous low here. But I think a better pair to look at is, like, for example, UJ. So when you see a big impulse, and it doesn't matter what time frame it is, like here you see a big impulse up and then you see ascending price action like this, which is corrective. Like you break the high, retracement, you break the high, retracement. The same is kind of happening here now on the 4-hour or on the 1-hour time frame, and not so much on UJ. UJ is more like push down, and then here's some ugly price action, push down, and now it's just moving sideways. But if you look at like USD JPY, you can very clearly see that it's just squeezing. So yeah, here you saw like a break of structure, and then it's a clear break. Here you see a break of structure, and it's like a very minor break, boom, straight away retracement. So that's why I'm not very interested in those shorts on USD JPY or Aussie Yen. Personally more interested in focusing still on those dollar pairs. If finally we see some volume on them, Aussie dollar still pushing up higher. I mean, pushes up on Aussie dollar still makes sense, right? We still have gotten here the 4-hour time frame where we have demand still in control, right? As I explained at the beginning. So from that perspective, longs still make sense. Is Euro USD finally pushing? It is a little bit not as strong as we need. GPUSD is flying. Yeah, GPUSD is flying. Nice. Okay. Let's see what else. What else? Dollar index. Has anything changed from the dollar index? Yeah, look. So this is happening, guys. This is happening. Let's see. Ooh, thank you for the message. Boom, bada, boom, bada, boom, boom. We have a, that sounded very, very bad, but dollar index, we have a 4-hour fractal structure shift, guys. This is nice. So what does this mean? It means now that we have like a premature trend shift over here, where this is now your area of supply, guys. This is now supply, and this should continue to push the market down lower. More confirmation will come once we break like this entire buy up before the sell. So let's see if we have enough momentum to now also break this weekly level. If we do, then for me, like these free lows getting taken out is like the next big move, and then we're definitely going to see some further upside from Euro USD. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking at now on the dollar. So obviously when market structure is a little bit unclear on Euro USD, GPUSD, AUD-USD, well, AUD-USD and NZD-USD are actually a little bit more clear in my opinion than Euro dollar and pound dollar. Then just follow the dollar index, because the dollar index can then just be used as literally as Euro USD, and then just follow that, and then it will explain where those pairs are likely heading next. But yeah, Aussie dollar should still push up higher. I could be wrong, guys. Remember that. But for NZD-USD, I'm at least looking for a break of this high over here. And then for me, when a break takes place of that high, that is then when I'm going to be looking for that next long position, because then we'll form a fresh area of demand over here, which should then push the market up higher. Because now there's no clear area of demand to go long from, so that's why I'm waiting. But overall, we do have that monthly open over here acting as a support once again. So a big advice for everybody to always check out those monthly and those weekly and those yearly opens, because those really act as very good and strong areas of support and resistance. In the meantime, should I trade during CPI, PPI? Yeah, you can perfectly trade during it. Just try and be in a position itself already, and not just enter a position based on what is being said. What else, guys? What else? Okay, so we have a lot of fans of US 30 and NASDAQ 100. Let's have a quick look at US 30 overall. So US 30 here is moving sideways. So again, what do we do when a market is consolidating, guys? What do we do when a market is consolidating? We use the range trading tool. So again, what I would do over here is just look at the market from this perspective, where it's moving sideways. Then I just draw this in. I make the lines nice and thick. And then you can see very clearly, okay, when US 30 retraces pretty much in towards this level over here, that is where I'll be looking for longs. When the market is trending over here, then I'll be looking for potential shorts. So For myself, it makes sense once we take out liquidity above this high, then maybe a short. For myself, it makes sense once we take out, for example, this low, we can look for a long. For the rest, the US 30 is just really consolidating and obviously waiting for the news to come out on inflation. And the same is probably for NAS 100. Let's see, not sure which chart you guys use. Should be this one. It is also very consolidative overall. Again, we can very clearly see range low, range high, and then again, what do we have? We have the 25% as your perfect area of support and the 75% as your perfect area of resistance. So market as well here is consolidating, currently making more sense to push down lower. There was actually a pretty nice short here from this area of supply, not gonna lie. Very, very nice actually. And now looking just for another further downside push from this, from where we can potentially look for longs. However, you should be in the position from over here. If it's now already trading over here, don't try and still get in. Let it play out. If it does push back up higher and, for example, take out liquidity above all of these highs, that's then a better moment to go into a short than still getting in over here. So there were like two shorts, one from this area of supply and one from the liquidity high, where you could have gotten in. So this is position number one, this is position number two, and now you just wait for the market to show its hand. So let's say it does push down, then you look from that yearly and monthly open, and that's then position potential number three for potential buy back up in towards the highs. So those are the two things, or the three things that you could have looked at and could have potentially traded. In the meantime, guys, don't forget to leave a like on the stream, and if you want to actively trade the strategy and trade together with us, make sure to check out the pinned link here in the chat, or check at the WAP link here in the description of the video. You are more than welcome to join the Trading Academy family, guys, and my own inner circle. Powell's speech, what do you think? I have no idea what he's going to be saying, so I'm not going to try and guess what he's going to say. I do think that there is going to be a rate cut in the United States in the near future, which should push the dollar further in towards the downside. Is he going to talk about this? I am not sure, but it would be nice. So over, you can stop asking about what Powell is going to be doing. Focusing on pound Aussie. Yeah, pound Aussie still focusing on potential further upside from that. A nice push up would still be ideal, and see this area of demand still play out. For the rest, we've just seen a 4-hour candle close 10 minutes ago. Let's keep an eye on what's going to happen. Again, most of these dollar pairs are currently consolidating, so we need to see some movements, which should come at 4 o'clock. For the rest, just moving sideways. CAD Yen longs from the daily open. Let's have a look at that. So let's see CAD Yen here on the daily. CAD Yen also moving in a range overall. This is pretty much the range that you have. You could make it a little bit tighter, the range, and say that this is like the overall range that you're trading inside of. Also makes sense if you draw it in like this, with this as your low over here and this here as your high. So yes, another long would make sense from that. Let's see the daily open, or you mean from today? No, not a massive fan. Very consolidative. Yeah, barcode price action. So it could just, again, if you look at the lower time frame here, which is the 15-minute, then you just see it's in a range of its own. Yeah, this is not ideal to trade in, to be honest. This is like stay out market, so no trades for me on this thing. Obviously, you have to push up in towards the higher time frame if you want to trade these kind of setups on this kind of pair, and it's very similar to, for example, for Swiss pairs, where the market is also trading in a sideways range more often than not. Euro Swiss pushing up higher in the meantime. What does that mean for the other pairs? Let's have a quick look. Aussie Swiss pushing up higher as well. Interesting. Swiss is not very strong today. Okay, interesting. For the rest, what else, guys? What else? Japan Yen basket weekly, daily, 4-hour. We can have a quick look, although I don't really look at it, to be very honest. I don't look at it too much. If you want to have a look at it, we can have a look at it. Let's see. I have it over here. Yeah, Japan basket is here at weekly resistance. Obviously, we don't trade support and resistance, but we do trade common sense, like I like to say, and it is currently at a kind of like a key level, as we can see over here, which was previously an area of support, area of resistance, resistance, resistance. So it would make sense indeed to see another push in towards the downside, as simple as that. What else? Fabio, please explain the monthly, weekly, monthly, yearly open indicator. Indicator is called opens. You can draw in the daily open, the weekly open, the monthly open, and the yearly open. And I like to use these opens because they are often key levels of support and resistance, guys. Key levels of support and resistance. So always like drawing those in. Okay, so let's see. Euro Aussie long. We have somebody who is calling a long here on Euro Aussie. Personally, I'm not really looking at trading Euro Aussie. Main reason being is that it is also trading in an overall daily range. We discussed this setup last week or two ago on the stream as well, where we had a nice 75% level short. Again, if we zoom out, 75% level short. It's now trading in the middle of the range. So if you draw in PVD, you can very clearly see it's here at the 0.5 fib. Which is kind of like a no man's land trading area. It's kind of traded below the lows. Personally, I'm looking more at longs once we come underneath here and then tap down in towards this open area of demand. So for myself, that is kind of like the next Euro AUD long that I want to be taking. Until then, it's kind of like a falling knife. So I preferably would stay out of any Euro AUD positions myself until we reach that area of demand. So that's what I'm looking for now. Fabio, can you give us your fib settings for the range? Yes, I can. What we have here is the range trading. It's just 0, 0.75, 0.25, and the 1 fib, which you can use to your advantage. Are you a swing trader or a day trader? I am both. I'm everything. I do what the market enables me to do. And at the moment, the market is not enabling me to trade the lower time frame, so I'm preferably trading the higher time frame at the moment, because the market is consolidating across the board on pretty much everything due to the uncertainty that there is currently going on globally. We have obviously geopolitical situations in both Palestine, Ukraine, Russia, Israel, everything, Iran that is going on, and then as well we have obviously the uncertainty surrounding tariffs. Who is the next one going to be hit by tariffs? This is causing uncertainty, and this is why personally I'm staying out of lower time frame positions. And a good example is obviously looking at the 15-minute time frame here, where the market is moving either sideways or it is providing us with liquidation wick. So for myself, yes, you can trade the 15-minute. Obviously here there's a nice 15-minute setup in play, but then still I prefer to trade with a wider stop loss. So that's what I'm personally doing. Fabio, can you look at Euro INR? Never ever looked at it, but the Euro against the Indian Rupee. Let's have a quick look at this from a technical perspective. So again, you can very clearly see the yearly open here acting as a key level of support once again. Personally, we're now seeing the imbalance get filled here on the daily. Going to the 4 hour. 4 hour has seen a heavy drop off in towards the lows. Let's see, market is consolidating a bit. There's not much going on here. Not much going on here at all. I would say yes, there's still a lot of liquidity open above these descending highs, but the market is too bearish at the moment to look for buys, but there's no clear area of supply for sells as well. So this is just one of those pairs that I would just personally stay out of and focus on some other things personally. You also do scalping, and what strategy do you follow? The exact strategy that I'm talking about here is fractal, meaning that you can use this strategy on both the 4 hour but also on the 1 minute time frame. I actually uploaded a short today here on YouTube and on Instagram of me trading the 1 minute on your USD, and you can see how that played out by going to the shorts of this YouTube channel or going onto the Instagram page as well. So yeah, make sure to check that out. There I explain pretty much how to scalp with this strategy. In the meantime, gold is pushing up higher as we pretty much expected from this area of demand over here. Keeping an eye on the lower time frame at the moment. We need to see a structural shift here. This is currently like the 50-minute fractal high. So let's see if we can break that, and then we have some potential longs again on our hand if we see somewhat of an order flow be created. So I'm looking for something like this. And then preferably you would want to go long only on the second area of demand that is then formed. So that's what I'm looking for on there. If your position does not meet your TP and it does a market shift against your bias, do you exit your trade? At the moment, I am not. I just let the position run. I don't look at it anymore once I set it. That's just how I do it. GP JPY and Euro NZD. Let's have a look at Euro NZD for you guys So Euro NZD here, and let's drop all the way back up in towards the weekly time frame first of all. So the weekly time frame is fractal bullish, where we have this as a low and this as a high. Overall, looking for further upside from a weekly perspective. If we look also at the premium versus discount, we have to keep in mind that there's still some more room in towards the downside, potentially possible. This here is pretty much the imbalance at the moment that is in control. So this is a 50% body candle, which could push the market up higher. This is also the 50% body candle that already tapped into this sub for the buy up. So looking for potential longs from there. What happened here was that Euro NZD was consolidating. We then liquidate the range low here. So after liquidating this range low, we could now look for potential upside. So now what I would want to see is a structural shift here on the daily, which is breaking this fractal high here. So now what we need is this, and then we trade it back up into the yearly high. So let's see if we get that. That would be a nice potential setup for Euro NZD. If you want to already take it a little bit more aggressively, you could already look for longs here. But this for me is one of those pairs again that I hate trading, in the sense that it's so choppy, man. It's so choppy. But overall, I mean, we liquidate the range low, so it makes sense to push up higher again. But then again, it's so choppy. So, are you a full-time trader? Yes, I am. You can see all of the payout proofs here on Instagram if you want to check that out as well. We also have an interview coming up with a very, very large prop firm, thanks to all the payouts that we've done there. So you're going to stay tuned for that. In the meantime, still choppy, waiting. Can you please explain your entry from the higher time frame to the lower time frame? Make sure to check out all of the videos here on the channel. Thank you so much, Brian Davis. Means so much, man. Means a lot. Wow, this is the first super that I've ever received on a stream. Let's celebrate the first super on the live stream. That's what YouTube is telling me. Wow, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Wow, that means a lot, guys. The first super that we have on the stream. Big shout out to Brian, guys. Big shout out to Brian. Don't forget to leave a like on the stream, guys. It means the world, Brian. Thank you so much. GBP USD is still looking good for some further upside for now. But again, it needs to break the order flow, so it needs to break this orange zone, and that for me will be more confirmation for potential further upside. Thank you so much, Shokras. The play button will come, guys. The play button will come. Waiting for that, man. Can't wait. In the meantime, anything else that we're looking at, guys, let me know. Anything else that we're looking for, let me know. I'm keeping my eyes open, but personally waiting still for a little bit more confirmation on everything. We need to still see some confirmation, but overall, I feel good, man. I feel good. Waiting for your USD to break out in either direction for some more confirmation. If it breaks out down, then I'll be interested in maybe some shorts, but otherwise for now, still interested in longs if we break above that. And then even more confirmation once we break above the monthly and the 3 yearly. What else? GJ, dollar index made the fractal break. Thanks for updating that, brother. Appreciate it. Let's see what will happen with New York Open. As you guys know, this is like the ultimate confirmation that we need, the break of this weekly low or weekly open. Once that fractal low goes, then I'll have even more confirmation for some sells. So really waiting for that to happen. Who knows? Let's see if that can hopefully happen with the Powell speech. Okay, guys, we'll have a look at your GJ. I'm not ignoring it on purpose. Overall GJ. So GJ itself is, again, it's also moving consolidative. We have like the outer range, so this black line and this black line low. And then we have like the inner range, which is, let's say, this high all the way down towards this low. So overall, again, we can apply the range trading tool. This is just how I see it. Yes, we grab liquidity underneath this low. Yes, we hit the 25% level. So further upside for myself just makes a lot more sense. We have a lot of descending highs here. And my first next target for GJ would be this internal high over here. So yeah, I'm looking kind of like for this on GJ. So let's see if we can get some order flow created on this. We have the descending corrective price action here after an overextended move. So what do we now need to see? We need to see, this is now the 4-hour fractal high. So I would preferably see that break, and then I'll look to take out this high, and this high So these are all like little liquidity highs, and then back up into that monthly level. So waiting for that to happen on GJ, because if you go into the lower time frame, guys, if you spam the chat, like, just get a live, please. Don't really appreciate it. If we look here at the lower time frame, you can see again that here we have kind of like lower time frame consolidation on the 50-minute, with the 25% level here acting as an area of support, and then again the 75% level here acting as an area of resistance. So I don't want to be selling this. I also don't want to be buying it, because of the fact that, again, the higher time frame is at a key level, and here on the lower time frame we're in a range. So we need to break out of this range, and then we'll be looking for some further upside again. Loni, is het mogelijk om een 1-op-1 traject te volgen? Yes, Loni, you can send me a message on Instagram here. So https instagram.com/TTA Capital, or send me a message on Discord. A link is in the description of this video. Fabio, any tips for the lower time frame trading and scalping? I'm doing a lot of videos on scalping at the moment on the YouTube channel, so make sure to stay tuned to that. The next educational video on the what's it called, on the channel is going to be the next educational video on the channel is going to be a scalp breakdown on gold on the 50-minute time frame for you guys. In the meantime, guys, Euro Yen, who remembers Euro Yen? Euro Yen, I agree. Who said that? Euro Yen is cleaner. I agree. Ranging pips, I like it because it is indeed not raging, but ranging. We can see here 75% level is resistance, 25% level is support. I don't know who this was with, but I drew this on, I think it was yesterday. I think some of you saw it, but again, just simply buy from the 25% level, and it's already going well. And then you just look for the lower time frame to shift. So obviously EJ did perfectly what we need in the form of here, fractal low break, fractal high break, boom, 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 boom. This is absolute beautiful scenes, guys. Yeah, I agree completely. Euro Yen is so much better, guys. It's so much better. Okay. How do you know a level will hold? You have to look for confirmation at the level. Okay, guys. Let me see and get you a link for Discord. So you can join Discord through the link here that I just shared in the chat. But yeah, looking for further upside on Euro Yen. Let's see if now the demand chain will hold here. So you're looking for further upside from Euro Yen back up in towards the highs. So what is your average trade per month? On average around 4%. Denise, you can get in on a potential Euro Yen long, looking like this. But most trades that I personally take are on the major dollar pairs, and the major dollar pairs are currently consolidating. So I'm waiting for the market to break out here on Euro USD, but also on AUD USD. One of my favorite setups or preferred setups is the next AUD USD buy in towards the highs. So looking for some more volume from the market, because obviously we're now consolidating here. So yeah, it's a little bit hard to get into a position now. Last week there were more positions to take, but if you are in an AU buy, obviously the first TP will be over here, this high over here, so around 0.63080, and then the second TP will be this high over here at around 0.63308. So yeah, guys, I have to run. That's it for today. We're going to be doing the next stream here on Thursday, so make sure to be there as well. Looking to see if we can still get some more upside on Euro USD for now. But yeah, that's it for today, guys. The next stream will be on Thursday, so I hope to see you all there. Thank you all for joining, guys. Really means a lot, and you just have an amazing day. I have to head out. A lot of work still to do. We were here for around an hour. My voice is literally disappearing, so I just have to run. Thanks again for joining, guys. Really means the world. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you could do that, would mean the world as well. And yeah, see you guys inside Discord. Yep. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks.